Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to Trash It. We've got a full house today, right? But before I introduce everyone on this panel, which you should already know, I am going to read the topic we'll be trashing today, and a lot of you might have already seen this on Instagram. Okay, so listen to this. My wife's salary was a mystery until I discovered how much she's truly worth. In 2016, she told me her salary was 950 Ghana cedis or dollars. I don't know what
CDs.
currency they're using now. And then 2 years later, when she got promoted, I asked about her salary and she said, oh, these people, don't mind them. They added only 350 to my old salary. So salary was 950 before, they added 350. How much is that for the mathematicians?
1-4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because of her meager
1-4,
salary.
1-3.
Yeah, okay. Because of her meager salary, I've taken up so many responsibilities in the house without complaint. I pay for the utilities, I pay for food, I pay the fees for our kids' school fees, I clothe them and take care of their medical bills. When my wife sends a grocery list, she even adds her sanitary pad. She buys dresses and clothes, comes to show them to me and asks me to pay for them. She started talking about a car when our second child came in. Things weren't good on my side, so I asked her to give me some time. She said, I have saved something. I can add it to what you have, so you pay me back when your money comes. I agreed and took that money from her, topped it up to get her a car. For 3 months, my ears never rested. She would wake up at dawn and ask me to pay what I owed her. I got tired and paid the money when I didn't have much in my account. One evening, I turned my laptop on and saw a lot of emails. I checked and it was my wife's email that had been opened. I asked her, did you use my laptop? She answered, yeah, I was checking something. I told her, then you didn't log out. She answered, I forgot, please log out for me. I was about to log out when something caught my attention. I saw a mail with the subject, January pay slip. I opened and started going through. When I saw her gross salary, I was shocked. 4,734 Ghana cedis or dollars. And this girl has been crying poverty. I went through the details. That night, I couldn't sleep. I was angry. I felt let down. I felt cheated and I felt played. We've been married for 6 good years and my wife earned that much money without my knowledge. How much she earned didn't even bother me than what she was doing with the money. I decided not to talk immediately, but rather do a little bit of investigation. All my life, I've held the view that it wasn't right for anyone to go through their partner's phones. It's an invasion of privacy and it breeds mistrust in a relationship. But that night, going through her phone was the only way to find out what I was looking for. I started with her best friend, nothing was found. Her family had a WhatsApp group. I read the messages there. I got a few hints. I went through the chat with her father, and that was when I realized my wife had bought a piece of land and had started building. Her father was in charge of the project. He had sent photos of the various stages of the building. At some point, her father said, thank you for helping your brother. He would have been home had it not been for you. She has only one brother, her senior brother. I went to look for the chat between them. Her senior brother lost his job and was home doing nothing. So my wife bought him a Hyundai i10 to use for Uber. Every week, her brother would render an account and they split the money. From all indications, my wife was doing well for herself while she placed poor so that she could rely on my salary. Why would she do that? I thought I was being a supportive husband so my wife could be proud of the man she married. When we bought land, it was her name and my name that appeared on the land. That car I bought for her with a loan from her bears her name. I didn't mind. I believed what hers was also mine. The next morning, she realized I wasn't looking well. I was boiling on the inside, but looking for a good opportunity to start the conversation. When I calmed down a little, I asked her, so why would you do that to me? And then she asked, what have I done? Then I answered, you bought land, you never told me. You started building on it, you never told me. When are you going to tell me? She was shocked. She asked, who told you all that? Then I said, your father did. She stood quiet for a while. She asked, "Why would my father tell you that? What were you people talking about?" Then I said to her, "I don't know. You go and ask your father." We left it there. Some minutes later, she came to me with her phone. "My father wants to talk to you." The phone was already on a loudspeaker. Her father was clearly angry. He asked, almost shouting, "You said I told you my daughter has a building? Where did I say that and when?" I asked him, "Is it not true that my wife has a building project going on that you are supervising?" Her father asked me, "I told you that?" Then I asked her father, "Is it not true?" After the back and forth, I told them, "I read your messages last night. I saw the pictures. I read the various budgets you had sent to my wife. I read the confirmation of the money, receipts that you sent to her. You're a man. Would you be happy if your wife did that to you?" He started fumbling. He started apologizing, saying he thought I was aware. My wife stood there motionless, didn't know what to say. When her father hung up, I told her everything I knew, from her salary to the car she bought for her brother. I said, "Yet, even your salary, even your sanitary pad, I buy them. You think I'm a fool? You use your money to acquire your own properties and live on mine because you are my wife. I hear, we'll see." Trust was lost. Love was broken. We had to find a new way of living our lives going forward. She has started paying for things she never paid for, but that doesn't move me. She has taught me a very great lesson, and I'm taking it seriously, that in everything, I have to look out for myself and my family first. Last, she told me, "If you want to change the names on those properties, we can do so." Guess whose name is on the property? Her father's name. I told her, "You don't need to change anything, they're yours. You suffered for them, so you can decide what you want to do with them. The land I bought has our names. I'm selling it and I'll take my money back. The car she's driving has her name. I put a for sale sticker on it. Some weeks ago, she agreed she'll pay for the car." Her father called me every morning and evening, apologizing for everything, and sometimes taking up the blame so I don't have to blame his daughter. I told him, "The emotional state I'm in right now, it will be hard to think straight or think forgiveness. Just give me space." 3 days later, they were in my house. Her father, her mother, and her senior brother. They came to apologize. "Don't let this break up the beautiful marriage you both have. If nothing at all, consider the kids and be lenient in your judgments." I listened to them. My position was still the same. I need time to clear my head. Just leave me alone to think. From last month to this moment that I'm writing this, my wife had changed totally. She doesn't ask for money, but the house is being run smoothly. So this is what a wife did to her husband. Women, you don't need to fear God. So let me come to the men. Let me come to the men on the show, Jude and Funshaw. This was written by your fellow man, and this was what he had to go
Fellow
through.
man. We're not in any club, please.
He's your fellow man, right? Man is a man. You
He's
are
on
the
his
same
own. He's
thing.
on his own. He's on his own. Simple.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought he was writing a script for Nollywood. You should go get a job at Nollywood. He did well.
He
Everything
did
was
well, right?
rhyming, falling into place. I thought he
Yeah.
was a script writer. Great
Yeah.
guy. Hollywood will run after him. Well, having said that, though, you could tell from that roller coaster story that there's poverty, there's been deception, there's love, heartbroken, and all of that. There's trust, and there's also the survivor for the fittest. It's a dog eat dog world. The woman was how to survive, he was how to survive. This is what I tell people. I always say this, especially to us in Europe. I said, for Christ's sake, you're complaining when you know you came to a jungle to hustle and the woman came to a jungle to hustle as well. And you're worried why she's keeping some money aside because she don't trust no one. She is in a jungle. You're in a jungle.
Can I
So,
say, Jude? Jude,
yeah.
they're both in Ghana. I don't believe that they're
No,
outside
it's still a
our
jungle,
country.
whether they're in Ghana or not. I'm just using because we're this part. It's still a jungle. We have to understand this. You come into what we call partnership or marriage as two adults, man. You've got agendas. I always say this, people think, oh, you like to talk about that. No, we've got agendas. Yeah, they love each other. Great. First of all, marrying itself is an agenda in itself. Trying to have children is an agenda in itself. Having free sex is an agenda in itself. So there's an agenda. There's poverty over obviously in that story, in the sense that she's been looked upon as a breadwinner for her family. Only God knows what they're going through. So they've told her, you go into there, we know your husband or your husband to be is a very hardworking guy, and that guy cares for you. Can you please use somehow to keep something aside? We don't want to be seen going to him and begging for money. He's done a lot. So obviously, we don't know the pressure she was in. Deception in the sense that, yes, she's used that deception and that has damaged the trust. I know a lot of people doing this. I don't do it. I can't be bothered. I don't have anything I'm chasing. But yeah, so a lot is going on, and I'm not in their shoes. I don't know where the shoe pinches. So I'm just like, I have sympathy for both of them.
Okay, now let me just ask this as a general question. So based on this story that you have just heard, should couples know each other's salary? Funsho, let me come to you. Is it okay for you to know what your wife earns, and is it okay for your wife to know what you earn?
Short answer, yes. And that is because for me, in this part of the world, it is important for planning, for raising, for taking care of the bills you guys have to take care of, and for having a sustainable future or investment. And you have kids coming up, you get. So it's very important to know, irrespective of who earns more. I don't care. You get. Just know, this is what I earn. That is how much you earn, so that we can plan towards it. I have a friend that brought the wife from Nigeria. So before the wife came from Nigeria, these guys always saying chilling in Dubai, chilling in Afghanistan, checking out my,
you know, in Afghanistan.
Yeah, the weather is quite good in Afghanistan.
Exactly.
I'm just giving examples. So it's always that kind of see me kind of person, flashy, bling bling everywhere on the gram, on Facebook. So when the wife came in from Nigeria, wife was not working, and it was a case of she's not going to drop anything. You get. And the guy was like, things don't work like this now. I was like, does she know how much you earn and all those things? You know. And eventually, when he now opened up himself that this is how much I earn, this is what is happening, those chilling in Dubai, it's all for the glam. There's been peace in the family, you get, because they now came to an understanding that we have to work together to make this family work, this marriage work. So, in a nutshell, I believe both. Well, it depends on what works for them. My elder sister, for example, the husband doesn't know how much she earns, because what she earns is like a fraction of what the guy. Let's say the guy earns 100 naira. My elder sister earns maybe 10 naira or 5 naira. You know, that kind of. So because the guy is into very good business and he has a lot of money, you know. So, and irrespective of whatever my elder sister earns, it's a fraction of what he earns. He doesn't care about her salary because it doesn't move. So, but in this environment where I am right now, I beg, I have to know what she earns. I have to know. She has to know what I earn, so that she won't ask me for a diamond ring. When she knows I cannot afford it.
Okay. Thank you, Funsho, for that. Ajike, let me come to you. Does it matter? Do you have to know what your husband earns, and does he have to know what you earn?
Personally, for me, no. As long as it's taking care of what needs to be taken care of. But for this particular story, the reason why it's, sort of painful, I think the man would not have maybe taken it this serious if she was at least helping in the house. I think that was just his pain point. Because even for me, my husband takes care of everything. He does everything. My money is basically my own. But that does not mean that I will now go, I want to buy pants, give me money. I want to buy pad, give me money. I want to. Even sometimes you just sound like me. The way people buy wig and people buy others, me, I don't buy things like that. You see, food is my problem in life. I like grown, expensive food. Expensive, just be imagining expensive food. That's where you will catch me. So you should not expect that is what is giving me that God bought that expensive food that we are eating. If we're eating like that every day, so all the money is giving me will not be okay. So for me, I think it's just for the man. If the woman was not just contributing into the house, at times, even for my son, at times in the school, they say they need something. I'm not going to start calling that. If I look at it that it's not so expensive, I might do it. Or if I feel that after paying this, the money pinch me small, I will add this to the end of the month list. But at least you would have done it first. You would have even covered whatever it may be. I think that's where the problem with him for the man was, because look at it now. He has seen everything. She's now doing it. She's not doing it. So now it's not really, to him, it's like medicine after death. She's not, it's not really important anymore. If she had been doing it from the start, she would have been like, oh, my wife, oh. So, but for me, really, I think for me, when it comes to finances, the man should have a will. he should protect his wife while he's alive. If he wants to keep his money to himself, that's his business. But protect your family, do the things that need to be done, buy investments in maybe your children's name or both of your names. Have a will. Have a will. Will is 35,000 naira in Nigeria. It's not expensive. Have a will. Men, women, I don't know what people are waiting for. I don't know why the people are afraid of dying. Have a will. There are people that have had will. I've had will since I've not died. I'm still here.
Yeah,
it's true. It's very, very true. So I think people just try to amass those kind of things maybe for them. So I don't know what it is, but
so Ajike, from what you've said, contrary to what Funsho said, you said you don't really want to know what your husband earns.
I don't want to know. If he does not tell me, there's no problem.
Would you ask him what he earns?
When like now, for me and my husband, we're both working in the banking industry, so I could tell what his salary was. Yeah. I knew where he was working. I knew, but now that he's running his own business, running his own things, he has staff, he has people. So I can't even come and say. Even he cannot really say, because this Nigeria, this week generator will spoil. Next week, so your finances are not even
stable,
constant. It's just that you just have you will say, okay, there are many around, and he can be lying about the around. So why you stress yourself and be asking questions that you know that they will not give you answer? My husband, once I pass the bill and the bill is paid, please pay it, let me be going.
So Ajike, would you tell your husband how much you earn?
I would.
You would? Okay.
I would have a problem. I can't tell anybody how much I'm earning because I'm not going to put your hand in my pocket. Not in my hand, I can tell anybody. Anybody, if you ask me, I will tell you. But that does not mean because what I you now come and tell me to give him. I will not give you because I work here for my money. If I want to give you, I'll give you. If I won't give you, go away. Okay. I can tell anybody.
Because I suppose as Funsho said, where you live as well, right? Because Funsho, you need it for financial purposes, for the house, to sort out the bills, because we're all in Europe and gone are the days where you rely on just a man's salary. Whereas Ajike, for your husband, he's a businessman. So 1 month he can be making 50 million, the next month he can be making 20 million. So it varies.
So it varies. So you can't really tell. Yeah. So you cut your coat and your clothes.
But if your husband was on a salary, would you expect him to tell you what he earned?
I'm sure he will tell me, and I will have an idea, because I will know, okay, this is where he's working. This is their salary based. You understand? You will have an idea of what people are earning in a place, at least in Nigeria where we are. And there's no people in NNPC. You might not have an idea, but okay, they are well paid. The banking industry, they are okay. Ministry, they are hungry. Everybody has level. How everybody will be.
Okay, thank you very much. So, Jude, let me come to you. Does it matter? Do you want to know what your wife earns? And would you tell your wife how much you earn?
Yeah, anyway, current situation, she knows how much comes in anyway. We have joint accounts. Whatever separate accounts I have, she knows. She doesn't know about the investments because she does not bother to ask, but I talk about my investments anyway. For me, I'm petty like that. I can't be bothered to know whatever she earns is our money. Take care of yourself. But like Ajike said, you don't just run to me for everything. You see what I mean? Yeah, so you do things, but like just now, she said she was going shopping. You need anything? I said, yes. I gave a list and I said, do you need me to transfer any funds? Because yes, we have a joint account, but it's just the one card. She can't be bothered carrying the other card. Yeah. And she said, yes, transfer some money. I haven't done that yet. So yeah, that's the current situation. Yeah, but I can understand why people would want to keep things to themselves. Like I said, the investments I have, they're not much, they're little. She's not shown any interest in them, but she does see me play with them on the computer every day. If she wanted to know, it's open there, because again, if you've done your legacy trust and will, like GK mentioned, it has to be honest. I can't be lying in my will, and then I die now, somebody else can collect them, So it's about honesty, because again, where we live, that's another reason.
Okay, thank you. Yori, let me come to you.
Let me backtrack a bit, because this guy now wrote a script. We don't know what happened before. Exactly. See, there are 3 sides to a story. The guy's side, the woman's side, and the truth. So we don't know the behavior. Maybe this man had been prostituting himself, got someone pregnant, had spent all his money outside. And the woman wasn't working before. Now she got a job and think, well, in the past, when you had money, you didn't fend for me. And if I give you everything, chances that you will squander our money. You know, sometimes, God forgive me, Funsho, I'm sorry. You people know how to rub story and be like, I did this, I did that. You will not reflect and think about what you did in 1962. And women, we can be very petty. Things are always in our sleeves. So when the time comes for some women to one-up you, they will one-up you. So we don't have the full story. But if I'm to answer your question, we're in a society that is important in the United Kingdom. The husband and the wife, you guys need to communicate if you want your house to run effectively. And you don't want Mr. Bailiff to come and knock on your door. And you don't want your credit rating to go down. So it's important for A to know what B earns. You don't necessarily have to have a joint account like we don't in our own case. Everybody have their own money. But we have a central pot where all money for bills go into, and Mr. Direct Debit goes there and just suck everything away. So the remaining change that is in everybody's accounts is for us to spend, and for me to spend more of Mr. Gbada's money. Do you get the gist? So what I'm trying to say is, yes, it's the truth. It's important for A to know what, because look, we're in a society where if something were to happen to him on the street of Lagos or on the street of London, and you don't know where your husband has investments, or you don't know where the money is, heaven forbid they need you to drop money to buy a new hat or a new leg, and you are now borrowing money when it's not necessary. So it's important for your own safety, for your other half to know how much. At the same time, it manages expectation. I can't be asking for a Cartier where all you earn is just to buy me H&M jewelry. Do you get what I'm saying? It's better to run the home effective. Now, if we were to talk about the brother in Ghana, we need to know what brother did.
Yeah, but Yuri, I quickly disagree with what you said, because the story clearly stated where I'm not blaming anyone. Like I said, deception has happened, heartbreak has happened, but the poverty is in that story as well. The lady wasn't from families I know. Yeah, they would do things separately, but they were doing it for their family. The lady wasn't doing it for her husband and family immediate. She's doing it for her extended. So that's where the deception is. Yes. So she wasn't doing it for the guy.
If the guy is able to, hold on. If the guy has money to buy everything that they need, like I said, we don't have the backstory. For all we know.
No. Sorry, what I'm saying, you're saying because I'm married to you, I should build your father a house. No, I shouldn't. I'm not married to your father or your mother. So this lady is building something for her father. She's buying investment or car as a taxi for the brother, and they're splitting it. It's not like she's doing it in her and her husband's name. If she was doing that, she could explain and say, guy, I was trying to protect you and do this because I know you don't listen.
This lady wasn't protecting the guy.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So that's why.
I never said that was what she was doing. Let's call it spade a spade. The house she was building was only in her father's name. The house is hers.
How is it hers? When we know in Nigeria, hereditary is for the man. How is it hers? That house is gone. It's gone. That house is gone to her brother.
Another thing I wanted to highlight is that while she was doing all this, she didn't think of the family, her own immediate family. This guy was lamenting. If you see in all the messages he wrote, so it's not as if I'm cutting Yori short, but it's like Yori is just creating an excuse for the lady.
I'm not great. I'm being objective.
I get you. I get you.
Funsho, let me finish. The thing about it, Jude and Funsho, you guys just see from the beginning. I see past the goalpost, and I see from where.
Fine.
What if there was no story?
Yori, there was a story. Funsho, I agree. There was a story, but like I was saying, if she built that house and it was in her name, and she bought that car, and that car was in her name, and she has investment in Amazon, and it was in her name, I know, yes, she's automatically indirectly still protecting her immediate nuclear family. But she bought it for her dad, she's lost it. She bought the car for her brother, she's lost it, because those two people can talk. We've been talking about this, the so-called patriarchal society. Those two people will come back and say, hang on, nothing is for you, go back to your home. So she's lost there and lost there. So I'm fighting for her. She shouldn't lost. So whatever has happened, they've used her. They shouldn't have gone to that extent.
Another thing we should look at is, in that message, the guy was really lamenting of how he actually struggles to meet up with the demands or the needs of the house. He has to loan money to buy her car, and he couldn't sleep in the house because the lady borrowed him money to buy car for herself. And she had no. It's just inhuman to human. Yeah, it's inhuman to human.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Celia, I know you have a question. Men, and I'm not trying to be hardcore mean BITCH here. Growing up, there was a story of this man that had money, and all he did was squander the money, did not invest in the family, left his wife to just carry on with things. And you know how karma can be. The rules or the shoes the roles were reversed, and this woman made money in the same similar situation. We tend to see this a lot in African countries, especially where women have been sort of scorned. And what she did, unlike this woman that built things in her father's name, this lady built property in her brother's name, and they had a contract that said, okay, on paper, this property is my brother's, but it is my property. And all she did was to safeguard herself because of what her husband had done. She wanted to punish him. I'm not excusing Mrs. Ghana's behavior. I'm just telling you, there might be a backstory to this. We don't
Of course.
Yeah.
And sometimes you men, you don't have how that put it. You can translate this for me. You not get body to collect pain.
And Yori, there could also be that there is no backstory and this lady is just being this lady. Being
okay,
mean
in that case, let God blow trumpets. Some women they're wicked. Personally,
I
wouldn't do it. If look, let's call it spade a spade.
This
man did
what wicked.
Hey, hold on, you don't have to lose your headphones. Why?
No, I'm telling you, because you are defending the women folk now. Looking at it,
I'm a
the
woman.
guys are always, I need to have standing for the guys
we've
now.
seen situations where you men have done the same. You have not seen us write epistle and call Paul and Peter to come and help the people of Colenius. Chill yourself.
God
the thing
will
about
save us.
is that women have been the bare brunt of this nonsense that you guys have done. Now, if we're to say this, what this woman has done is questionable. She's mean, she's wicked. For a fact, when I read this, I was like, damn, see, that's why some people don't want women to be successful. This is why. Because you'll be like, okay, in one swoop, how much are you in? 4,500 CDs. How much is that in pounds? And you now think you could do that and not carry your man to the extent that you are borrowing him money to buy you a car. Hear that? She doesn't like that man. She doesn't want peace for him because borrowing money for your own use and then asking him to pay back. That's why I said we need to find out what this man has done.
It could be the woman's upbringing also. It might not be
it
that
could
the
be
man
her upbringing. It could be like that. It's just some people are just like that. Some people don't like to share. Some people don't like. I know someone through my mom. She's that kind of person. She'll be like, oh, me new. If he wants to, it's my money. If he wants to send his children to school, that's their business. So like me now, if I'll be looking at it that my son is in this school. I want him to go to better school. Let me add money. There are some women that are reasoning like that and think like that, and just like. But there are some people really like for just that there may be no backstory. That's just her person, and they've now caught her. She's just like, for peace. I don't want to go to my father's house. Let me just stay in this house. So people, marriage is very important. That missus is very important. She's not ready to lose that title. So let me.
What I see here, though, I see the woman as a victim in all of this, though. The woman is the victim.
No, I'm not saying she's no, Mr. Jude. I'm not saying that
push on.
That.
I can let me tell you why. Story. I don't want to share, but I can.
Let me tell you why I believe she is. Let me tell you why I believe she is a victim in all of this. We know where we come from, but let's not haggle about that. We thank God for independent women, people who have it. This woman, I'm going to assume that she is the eldest daughter, and the brother is a younger brother. And they're just two children and their father.
Older brother. The man she bought
older brother.
Older brother,
okay, older or younger. Let's just assume it's just the two of them. This woman has gone into this marriage. Great. But the father does nothing. And the elder brother is just a lousy layabout at home.
Lost his
Nothing
job.
is happening.
Lost his job.
He's a lazy layabout. Simple as that. Whether he lost his job or not. We know where we come from. Nothing is happening in Ghana or Nigeria. There are a lot of people in that circumstantial situation in Africa. We can't kill it. But if I was still in Africa today, he said I would have been killed or kill people to make it if you don't have the degrees to stand up or have the connections. So I know where I'm leaning towards. Now, this is happening. And she's Africa again is where we think marriage is where you want to go make it, go milk the man and take care of us. We still treat marriage as a place where they go make them, that they go take care of you, and indirectly you take care of us. The girl child, the burden is always on them, whether they're younger or they're eldest. So she's gone into that marriage. The father and the brother would have told them, look, nothing they happen for us. Find a way to help us. She would have had this discussion and say, I know if we do this, I need to be supporting my house. They'll be like, how do we go? Look, your husband is where to do, or the family are where to do. Now we get problem. We can't be going to beg. She is the victim in all of this, from the husband side, from the father, from the brother, 3 men against the woman. And she has to go that length and say, okay, how do we do this? They would have advised her to put the house in my name. Because obviously if she built a property for the father, that means they were bloody tenants before. They didn't have anything. They were coming from the bottom of the bottom. Simple as that. Now, the brother, how do you get out of your poverty where you are? Let's buy you a taxi. And this taxi, okay, now me buy them, or you have to split with me. And they've agreed. And that's it, put the car. And then what she was trying to do, putting these things in there, although they kind of pressured her to do it, she was trying to even protect herself from her husband. She knows from the day one that what she's done is not right. If my husband finds out, I'll be in trouble. But behold, he still found out. But see how this woman changed immediately. She don't look to me like somebody who's really wicked, who's looking to say, look, I've seen these things in London. The woman will say, you know what, F you, I'm gone. Because they've got something to say. She's not doing that. That's to tell you she's not wicked. I'm talking from experience. It happens here in London. People who I know, they'll be watching this show and they will know I'm talking about some of the things they do. But this lady is still there. She's not like gone down on her knees to beg. I don't know what happened, but she's saying, look, all of this has happened, is a mistake. And she's ready to reconcile her past with the future. And she's doing things for the home. She's beginning to do things. So I think the man should just buck up and whatever and walk about and forget about this, because what's happened has happened. She is the victim. Trust me, not just the guy.
I'm sure you don't agree with that.
I still disagree.
That's fine.
I'm not saying what you have said is not
no, that's right.
possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. But I disagree. And I still maintain that sometimes it has to do with your upbringing and what the way you see life. So I keep saying it on this show that I learned from different families from where I grew up and like that. Okay, this story you just painted, only that, okay, it's like a personal story from my mom. Like, my mom's own is different in the sense that she wasn't giving her money to her parents or her family, but she wouldn't drop even money for matches in the house, ordinary lighter. Yeah, that's my mom. And you know why she did that? She also grew up from a polygamous family. And she believed that if the man is comfortable, that is when you start having money to chase girls outside.
So
my mom was an illiterate. She's late now. Was an illiterate, and all the money she made, her bank was under the carpet. I knew everywhere where the money was in the house. So if I needed money, and daddy,
I trust you.
I know what I'm saying. So it's not like sometimes. It is just so growing up, I knew it was her orientation. It was the way she thought. It was what he saw growing up. It wasn't as if anybody influenced her. You get the land my dad eventually purchased or bought in Lagos. Okay, he had bought some before when he was very okay. Then the particular one we eventually stayed on, when he bought that land, he was struggling to pay the complete fee. I think he paid half. And my mom knew he needed half to complete it. My mom didn't say anything. Go and hustle and pay that money. Yeah, go and hustle and pay that money. And until they took the land away from us, like let's say you have a land close to the expressway, the main road, they took that one and took you inside. That inside, they want to collect again. That was when my mom said, okay, let's go there. We first change the name to Mr. and Mrs. That's before I now drop this money. So it's like orientation.
Yeah.
It doesn't have anything to do with whether a family or whether. There were sometimes she kept money on that carpet and she forgot it there. Some people helped her to spend it. I don't know who spent it.
Oh, sure.
You never know.
He said he don't know who spent it.
And most of the time, she always relied on me. I'm the only son. She's very, very fond of me and like that. You know how mothers like son and fathers like daughters and like that. So I knew. So that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. And it's part of what formed my own mentality growing up, that no, this is wrong. Because there were times I saw daddy struggling because we went to boarding school. I went to Federal Government College in Taraba State. My sister went to New Busa. you know how much you pay for fees, boarding.
Yeah.
I was struggling. Say yeah, but she won't say it because he knows that if I give him, the mentality that he's going to chase other girls.
Yeah.
And this man was ever faithful, super faithful.
Mm.
Yeah, but she couldn't just look past it. And I don't blame her because it was her own bringing. And that's why I'm saying this.
Reality.
Yeah, there might not be any backstory to this thing. It's just the woman, the way she thinks, and she's getting profit from this whole thing now. So it's just the way she thinks. So we should not make any excuses here. I know there might be backstories, but that ladies are like that.
Okay, thank you very much, Funshaw, for that. Jude, let me come to you. I mean, this question will be for you and Funshaw, but Jude, I'm going to come to you first. Given that you're kind of saying that the woman is the victim in this, if you were the husband, right, and you find out that your wife has been lying to you for over 6 years, you've been doing everything in the house financially, how would this make you feel with regards to your trust for her and with regards to the love you have for her? How would this affect your relationship?
I think similar to what's happened to this young boy. That's why I said at first deceptions happen, heartbreak, the trust is out of the door. It's everything similar, but we're talking from a position of hindsight. That's the opportunity we have. We're not, that's why I said I'm not in that situation. So that's why I can talk. But trust me, if I was the person, I would react, probably not go out to write it the way, because he's a brilliant writer. I probably will not have that patience. Probably will be, instead of me writing, it will be her properties out of my window, if you get what I mean. So yes, so I would react if I was in that situation in Africa. I would react, but here in London, I could not react that way because me asking my wife, because if me asking my wife, that's the end of our rope, called Gary. That means I'll be sharing my property and everything with her, half, and I'll be paying child support. So laws, restraint, and all of that will put me in check and say, hang on, man, not be the end of the world. Continue with life. But in Africa, that woman's thing will be flying through the sky. I won't be writing stories like I'm auditioning for Nollywood.
Or doing your videos.
Maybe I could do video now and narrate the whole thing and destroy her name. But yes, I like all the points we've made. They're all valid. We're trying to put different pictures, and it's very good because situations does happen, and these are real life stories. They're not just from Mills and Boom. They're real life stories. So people are watching as well. Yeah, things happen. But the society where I'm at, there are certain things that I really cannot do. I have to be honest. Otherwise, we will both lose out. When I fall down and die, I'll lose out. She'll lose out. What's the point of hiding?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a different view, though, irrespective of whether in Africa or over here in Europe. Even if I was in Africa, I was still see I like to do retrospective, like to check up and see where I actually went wrong or where the things went wrong. The first time I heard this story, I was like, didn't they date? Like, didn't he know the kind of woman he's getting married to from the beginning? Didn't they share finances? Didn't they talk about all these things before they got married? Now that is done. Okay, there was a mistake. We didn't do all those talking from the beginning. Now it has happened. I'd like to know where I went wrong. So I'd like to sit down with her and we'll talk about these things again. I said it that the only deal breaker for me is if you cheat.
Okay.
If it's not cheating, all the things that she's done, not that she's giving to another man or sleeping around, then we'll sit down, we'll talk about it again. We'll reset the whole thing. We'll reset the whole thing and talk about it. And I forgive her. The trust is still there. Everything is still there. No problem.
Oh, well, that's good. That's really good. So let me come to you ladies, Yuri and Ajike. So given that you're women that had to get married and, go and join another family, your husband's family, how hard was it for you to cut that umbilical cord, okay, between you and your family? And how come, how has it been for you not to, have you ever done something like what this woman has done? And how hard was it for you to separate from your family and cleave to your husband and know that your husband is your trusted partner and you wouldn't do something like this behind his back?
Okay. Well, I think do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. I think you need to look at this woman's background. I don't have that kind of background. My parents don't up till now still don't rely on me for shish. So if I choose to give, it's out of the goodness of my heart. Because if there's anything my father said growing up to us is that I'm going to invest in your education. What me and your mother will eat till we die, we have it. So I don't have that kind of background. Now, when we talk about investment, I have investments with my siblings, different from whatever I have with my husband. And that's because we just want to do stuff together. My husband is fully aware of what I'm into with my
Your
siblings.
siblings, right?
Do you understand? So I don't have an issue regarding that. If there's anything my husband struggled with when we got married, is the fact that I come from a very large home. I've said this before. My grandfather's got 25 wives. So you can imagine I have a lot of uncles, cousins.
Father Solomon, I hear.
I've got a lot of uncles, cousins, different families. So our house is always bustling. So someone is visiting, or I have functions, I have different Owambers that we are buying Ashwebi. So this from someone that comes from a very small family, marrying to someone that comes from a very huge family. I think that's what he struggled or still struggles with. So that's just it. But I don't have that thing. My parents don't need anything. I'm more like taking from them, as I can still go home and I don't have to hold my own checking account.
Okay.
I don't have that problem.
You said you have investments with your siblings. Was this investment something you had before you got married or after?
No, after.
After. And did you discuss it with your husband that you were about to do something like that with your siblings?
Yes.
You did.
So like my younger sister, one of my younger sisters, I've got two younger sisters and a brother. One is an architect, the other is a lawyer. So the one that is an architect is into building stuff, buying land, girls, let's do this. So it was something that we do together. Mm-hmm. So my husband is fully aware. Mm-hmm. It's not something he's interested in, but it's ours, but it's in my name.
Okay. Ajike, let me come to you with the same question.
My story is very similar to Yuri. It's very, very, very similar, almost identical. But something like me, I still go home, I still sleep at home. I will carry my bag and go there, and I will come back with bags and bags of things and even money. So, my husband may have struggled with that, but I'm very, very close to my mom. I'm very close to her. The way people complain that mother-in-law and their sons are very close. It's the same thing with me and my mom. But my mom has been able to gather her sons-in-law and take them as her own. So we've been able to, we don't have so much friction. But really, I'm very close to my family, and my husband knows. He has to live with it. I can't. He's close to his own family as well. So because I understand how close I am to my family, my husband, I don't really intrude my husband and his family, because they lost their parents very young, quite young. So their bond is mad, as in is really, really tight. So I didn't, but maybe coming from the background, like Yuri said, a lot of aunties, uncles, maybe sort of polygamous, grandparents and all that, I understood that. So I didn't come guns blazing. My husband is my own. You must live and cleave. We must stay together. Don't call anybody. Please go your go. Let me go my go. So I think that has really helped us. We have our families and we can go wherever I want to go to when we are tired of one another. So.
Okay, so Yuri and Ajike, let's turn the tables, right? And let's assume you were the man in the situation, and this is what your wife was doing to you. Would this be a deal breaker for that relationship? Because I think for Jude, if he was in Nigeria, we all know that he said it would be a deal breaker, right? But unfortunately, because you're here in the UK, you can't, because then you have to share things.
No, not deal breaker as in deal breaker that will end everything. I'm just saying the reaction will be similar.
The reaction.
Like I won't be writing stories. I might be throwing things out of the window.
Right.
Come back to our senses. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So it won't be but it would cause a reaction. So Ajike and Yuri, what would you do if you were the man? Oh no, let me even put it this way. You're the woman.
As a woman.
You are the woman, and you're the one spending all your money on the family, and the man keeps claiming he earns very little. What would you do?
And
then you find out, hold on. And then you find out that the husband that says he doesn't have any money, you are buying his shaving stick and deodorant, right? And then
his boxers.
Yeah, and then you find out that he's buying lands and building houses in his mother's name and buying cars for his sister or his brother. How would you feel?
Okay, coming with that story now, for me, I think because of the kind of person I was or I am, I'm not the kind of person that waits for money to come to me and wait for, my husband to do anything. So I think even he became comfortable like that and wasn't giving me enough. Really, something like this happened to me. But now that I are saying it, because I'm the kind of person, I've done it. Like I said, my parents are okay now. At times I want to pay for this one, I want to do this one. I want to say, okay, take this from my father. I say, okay. Then I work for my dad, and somehow money comes in. So I now realize that he wasn't giving me enough. He wasn't stepping up properly. Funny enough, it was just one quarrel. We had one big major quarrel, and I just said, guy, I'm dropping everything. I'm not doing anything again. You are going to do everything. I think that's why I came to this point that I am now, that it's sort of okay that he has taken up. Because at times when you see someone doing those things, you just take it for granted. Now, I'm not saying that he purposely went to hide his money, but I just felt that maybe this girl is asking me for money. She's okay. At times we need to speak, we need to communicate. I think we are now getting to it. We need to communicate, because so like I wasn't communicating that I needed help. I was doing superwoman. I was doing everything. Okay, Kiniko, I'll just do it. This one, I'll just do it. And the guy was okay. The wife is okay. She's actually okay. But it was. I just began to notice that this guy is looking fine. He's looking handsome. His wife, his beard is like Jude Zone. Everything was now fresh. Everything was just poor. And me, I'm there looking haggard. Brother, like that. And that was really how we got to where I am. Like guys just enjoy everything. No, even at that, definitely there's some things I still do in the house, but it did happen to me on this scale or on this thing. But at times you this man that's complaining, maybe he never even asked the woman for money. It's possible. It's possible. Because unlike me, to what she did, he told I think he mentioned that he told her to borrow him money to buy a car.
No, she
offered, talk like that.
She offered to lend him the money and he would pay her
and pay back. Me too, you please borrow and lend. Me too, that the money you said I should add to that thing, give me back. I used to do it. I will tell myself if I don't have money, I will steal my money. Shebi say you will give me back. Every month I'll be reminding him, put that money.
But the family,
that money, which kind of family?
So, Bajike, let me ask you. So you find out that he's investing in his mother, father, and siblings' names instead of your name or your children's name. How would that make you feel?
Well, if like he's not doing anything at all for us, I will complain. I will shout. We will cause quarrel. If he's doing for me, and I'm okay with what he's done for me and my son, his family too, they are human beings too. Now, if he can do for them, why not? If he's comfortable enough and he has done for me and he can do for them, I have no problem. But when he has not done anything for me at all, he's not doing for them. Even if he does not do for me, that's his business. Me to have father, they will do for me. But he will do for his child. Me, I'm not even very particular about myself. I keep telling people this. I'm not very particular. But you see that child that I have, I am very particular. So when you want to do something, just once you have done for my son, me, I really don't care. I'm not a fashion freak. I'm not anything. Just do for my son. Once my son is okay, me too, I'm okay. There's nothing I want to do, use anything to do. I think that's okay for me.
Thank you very much for that, Ajike. Okay, Yori, let me come to you. Your husband is buying landed property in the name of his mother, father, brothers, and sisters. He hasn't done shit for you or your daughter, your beautiful little girl. He hasn't done nothing for you guys. And you're the one footing the bill at home. And he said, no, they don't pay me enough. How's this going to make you feel?
See, I am war. I'm in Daboski.
I'm the war, I'm the fight.
I'm the fight. I'll bring war to you. Do you know why? You see, the thing about it is that I don't know how to contain my emotions. I'm not that kind of person that I would now be smiling. You see, the one that the guy slept and is now pondering on how to. I don't have that patience.
I don't have it myself.
I will bring it to you that night. That night that we found out that you're earning that 4,000 shilling is that money that we will go to Zenith Bank or wherever bank you bank in. I want to know how much is in that account. You see that house that you bought, you will change the name.
That day we are going to change it.
You are going to change because I will lawyer up. You know, conjugal responsibility, marital rights, I have them. Everything that you own, as long as we are in a marriage, I will bless you. I will exercise my marital rights. Do you understand? I will flex my muscles because me, I have the money and I have the mouth. So you cannot just be rubbishing me unless I must have done something to warrant that behavior. You know, sometimes men might want to teach women a lesson. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So unless it can't even be any, why would you want to suffer me like this? I'm buying your boxers and you have the money. I'm buying your shaving stick, you have the money. And you have the effrontery, the guts to go build property in your mama name. And you
Buy
haven't
car.
built one. Look, it's a different ball game. Look, this is business. Uber is business. So you say, for instance, you decide to Uber up your younger brother, older brother, and you guys are splitting the money. The investment from that Uber should be coming to our house. I should be aware of that. So me, I am in Daboski. I will bring you up.
Okay.
But
So Yuri, would it lead to a breakdown in that marriage?
Why would you break down? It's
It
you that
would.
don't know how to coordinate. See, things like this, we doesn't need to. Why we don't have to. You see, I'm not the kind of person that throws the water and the baby and the bath
water
and the bottled water house. No, as long as it's that you've not cheated, that one is a deal breaker for me. Because me, I will not let something that affects my sleep. You're coming from the door and I'm imagining, why is your mouth crooked like this? I don't want to lose my patience like that. I do not have the time. That's a deal breaker for me. But this it's a big how will I put it? It will take me a while to trust you because you've broken my trust. Financial trust is important because it's people like you that will die and they will not be. Look at what happened. I don't even want to mention the family. You're pouring sand into the man's grave, and there's another family on the other hand. The woman had the same number of children that the wife at home had. So if you can do that, what else? I will then go PI on you. Private investigation. I want to know because this is just the tip of the iceberg. If you can keep this on me, what do I know that what else are you? Maybe you've got a whole family down the streets. You've got a whole family in another continent. You've got a whole family in the country. So this is just, that unearths a lot of issues that we have.
True.
That would even make me say, okay, there must be more for you to feel comfortable. What have I done for you to feel okay for me to slave this much for us to make our family comfortable? And you could help me. You're meant to be my helper.
And okay,
that's how the man felt, really. The way you are feeling is how that man felt.
That's why I said,
and that was why I was trying to defend the man the other
that's
time.
what I'm saying. If you could remember, I said there must have been something that I must have done.
Exactly.
And also, in saying this, do we have messages for our parents or for those parents that expect this from the children? Because let's be honest, right? Parents, we know in Benin they'll say, right? June, do you understand what I'm saying? What they cannot do to you, don't do it to somebody else. Yeah. The father cannot say he did not know that his daughter did not tell her husband about this investment, right? I don't believe when the father says that, okay? Because parents are very good at keeping their children's secret. Then when the shit hits the fan, they will now come and be saying, oh, it was the devil. Don't let the devil use you to scatter this beautiful marriage, right? But when they were sending all the details and the stages of the houses to the boy and to the daughter and collecting the money and keeping it hush-hush, it was fine. The devil was not in operation then. So as children that all have parents, I guess, or maybe not, but what message do we have for those parents that put their children, be it their female children or their male children, in such a position? Shouldn't you make your husband or your wives know about your investment that you're making, especially when it's with your family? Or is that too much to ask? Funcho, let me come to you first.
I know how attached we can be to our families, to our extended families, and especially in some families that maybe they actually have to put together all their clothes or trinkets to send you to school. Now you have made it, they expect like something, give back to the community and like that. So I understand. I mentioned community because extended family can be much. I am facing that kind of pressure also because of my own extended family, but I just shut myself out completely. So what I did with my family, with my wife, is we operate maybe a different kind of joint account. I don't have any account in Nigeria. Only my wife has. So any money that is going to Nigeria goes through that account. And if there's so what we do is, if my family member needs money, she would have to approve it. If her own family member needs money, I would have to approve it. Because if my family comes to me or I do the approval, I will be emotional about it. I won't see it directly. It won't be logical. It's my family. I want to help. But we will now have to sit down. I have to convince her as to why I have to help. She has to convince me as to why I also have to approve it. By that, we have been able to like keep everybody at bay and tell them that we have our own family also to run. We have bills to pay. So if you guys keep coming, if everybody keeps coming, I keep giving everybody 20. I think I saw one post, one girl was like, UK people, why do you give 10K?
10K, yeah. To a craze.
10K kill you.
Yeah.
I see Celia answering that 10K kill you there. I was like, Celia.
Yeah.
Celia is shaking the table. So imagine if I had to give all my extended family 10K each.
Every
she has
month.
to give all our extended family 10K each every month. Then we are going to go bankrupt. So it is very, very. So now her family knows that nothing will come unless both of us agree. My family also knows that rule. So by that, we have been able to keep them at bay. So, but generally, I think parents should please not put so much pressure on their kids or their male or female child, so that the pressure will not break their own nuclear family. That's just what I have to say.
So for sure, let me just a quick one. What if your family is more needy, and then what if you find out that maybe she has been doing some transactions behind your back? How's that gonna go for you?
Like if her family is
if your family, since anybody that asks for money from your family, the approval has to go through her. What if your family is more needy? They're always asking for money. And also, what if you find out that she has been doing some transactions behind your back to her family? How would that make you feel?
I would actually feel bad, very, very bad, because there will be a case of maybe I wanted to do something for my family, but because we couldn't agree on we doing it, and I'll find out that you have been actually doing something. No, I'll feel bad. Then we'll sit down. Actually, see, a friend of mine once asked for money, and he was like, I need my pills, blah, blah, blah. I said, I don't have money. He said, Ross, it's just 10K now. Please help me. And I couldn't tell my wife. So I was like, okay. And I asked a friend of mine, another friend, to send this guy money. So I was now finding because I don't have accounts in Nigeria. And you know all these, they are token things. I don't know how to do it. So because I don't have accounts. So there was a day she was doing it. After she has done it, I was monitoring how she did it. After doing it, and I went there and I took this thing. I sent the money to the person that helped me. So she was now checking through her account. And I saw this. I didn't do this transaction. Then she came to me. At that point, I just kept a straight face. But later I had to call her that this is what happened and this is what. So I didn't feel right. It wasn't fine with me. So why would I want to do that? Or she knows that it's like we are saying that it's going to break the trust between us.
Yeah.
Because over here, I keep most of the money. Over in Nigeria, she keeps most of the money. And that's how we have been able to maintain balance between the whole thing. So, yeah.
Thank you very much. Jude, just very quickly, what messages do you have for parents out there that put their children in very precarious positions like this?
I think Funsha said everything. But the only thing I'll add to that is the whole society, our parents, they need to be honest. And they need to be very honest with themselves. We complain every day about corruption in the country. It stems from the household.
Yes.
The nation doesn't have a spirit or a soul of itself. Your family as a unit and the other family as a unit makes up the community and then the nation. We have to be very honest, and we have to be able, when I say something, you have to believe that I'm telling you the truth. When we're not honest about it, so that's why I used deception the first time. So her parents, our father, a parent, wasn't honest, and he wasn't willing to take an honest answer from the woman. She would have said, look, this is not trouble. The amounts are okay. I beg our survival first. So we need to be really honest and upright people. I know they've done much for us as children. They brought us into this world, man. I'm doing the same for my children. And I'm also telling them I don't expect anything from them. I'm going to try my best to set them up, get them the first deposit for their mortgage. I don't expect anything from them. Maybe again, it's a society where we are, but in our society, there's need for honesty and everything Funshaw has mentioned.
Yeah. Okay. Ajike, let me come to you real quick. What would you do? And you're very close with your parents. What if your parents starts to say to you, Ajike, I saw one land in Lekki, Nemen Estate, come and buy it. Would you tell your husband?
I don't have money.
No, let's assume you had money, Ajike.
If I have money, if I don't have money, I will not do it.
So if you have
we
money,
need to begin to let people have a backbone. People, what I realize about a lot of people don't have backbone. Whether my mother, whether my father, if I will do it, if I want to do it, I'm not going to do it. And
so but would you tell your husband though?
That's just me.
Would you tell your husband?
Like I said, I think a lot of people just put themselves under pressure because somebody helped you. When it's time, you will help the person. It's not because you don't have it now. 2-3 years down the line, like I keep telling people, my life and my husband's life now was not the same thing as 2 years ago. There are some things I can do now that I couldn't do then. Now I can do certain things. So let the time come. Then you can ask for certain things. I think at times we demand much more than the person can do, and we know. So why do we put people under pressure? They now start lying, stealing from their partners, stealing from government, stealing from their from their places of work. So now they start stealing from government. So is that pressure on? How can you see me like this and say one thing many mistakes? Even me, I'm living in do better. Why now?
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ajike. Yori, let me come to you real quick before we round up. What would you say to parents?
Well, parents just need to do what they can afford for themselves. Don't come be asking me what you can. Like, say, for instance, there was earlier last year, my dad called us up and said, "Oh, I wanted to change my car." And the first question, my youngest sister, which one is the loudest man, she knows how to cut my dad short. We're like, "How much do you have? How much is your investment to this car that you want to drive?" And my dad was like, "Oh yeah, this is what I want. This is what I have," and blah, blah, blah. And we said, "Okay, fine. It's a good thing that you have the basis of what you want." So the change that we are going to add on will help you out. But you can't be coming and be asking us for a 20 million car and you only have 2 naira. It doesn't work that way. It's
That's
true.
a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I like your sister for that. Yeah.
Being the first child, I think I give my parents more excuse. My mom does not even ask for anything, but my dad is not to be asked. But sometimes he'll just come like, "Oh, I want to do this." My younger sister, she's the last youngest of us. She's a lawyer. The first thing she asked her, to these investments, what's your contribution?
I like
how much
that.
do you have? And then he will tell you, or he told us in this case, this is how much I have towards the car. Fine. And then we contributed amongst ourselves to purchase the car.
Yeah.
He gave a significant amount of money to the car. So because the thing about it is that they're not doing anything with their pension. They don't pay for any properties because they own their properties outright. So why on earth are you not asking me to be building properties for you when you have properties? So luckily for them, they've invested, both him and my mom have invested in their futures. They've said it. Whatever we take from you is just small change. And even the small change, we have those that scrutinize requests among my siblings. Is bring something to the table, that thing will bring you straight. What are you bringing to the table? So we need to get to that habit where we manage our parents' expectation. If I'm not just a single entity. If you're single now and you can afford it, and your parents can ask you for the moon and the star, and you can afford it, all well and good. It is your money. But if you are a community property, not like your community property, but that's what I'm saying. You belong to someone, that person belongs to you. It should be a joint effort. This is what my parents want us to do. Can we afford it? And if we can't afford it, we go back. It's not on the budget this month. In fact, it's not on the budget this year.
So I like that. I like that because a lot of parents sometimes they sort of feel like they've invested in you, so now you need to, regardless, they don't care.
It's not just parents, it's siblings as well. I think Yori, you're very valid. If I could get to that level, I'll be the happiest person on earth. It's siblings as well, you know.
Yeah.
I hope they watch this one.
Yeah. Anyway, on that note, thank you very much for trashing this topic with us. I hope our parents are watching and they're learning. Don't put us in a position where we have to sort of choose between you and our husbands or our wives. And when we choose our partners, it becomes an issue in the home. And then you go and tell our siblings, and then our siblings too will now jump on the bandwagon and say your wife is controlling you or your husband is controlling you, because that's what happens in the end. Okay, so on that note, I think we're going to end it here. It was nice trashing this topic. And please, women, fear God. Don't put your husbands in situations like this. It's not nice, okay? Even though you don't want to disclose how much you earn, at least do things around the house, financially contribute. contribute in the house, because no man really wants to be doing it alone anymore. And men, the fact that your wife is contributing in the house does not mean you now have enough money to go and be giving side chicks out there.
You know.
But this guy wasn't giving side chick, no.
Well, he wasn't. But I'm just saying.
He's the one telling the story. Will you say it?
Yeah, because look how often shows mom, her reason for not supporting the father financially was that if I start supporting you, then you have free money to go and start womanizing, right? So she didn't do that. So let's just do unto others what we want others to do unto us. Marriage is difficult. Let's not make it more complicated by doing MI5, hide your phone, hide your bank statement, hide your weight slip. It's so stressful.
It's too much work. Too much. Honesty pays, man.
It's so stressful. I know fit. Please, this is how much I earn. I don't care who wants to know whatever, because I just want to live my life. All I know is when I ask you to buy me Louboutin, don't say you don't have money, because that's when the wala will come. But anyway, on that note, let's end it there. Thank you so much, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.